Stock market today, analysis for Aloha Tuesday, March 7th, 2023. In the link in the description of this video, below this video, you find a link to iofsuccess.com. Check it out, learn how to sell cash secured put options, do the wheel strategy. You got free downloads to help you with that. A 5-video YouTube playlist. This is a strategy you absolutely, positively must be incorporating into your life. If you got an internet connection, a bank account, and you spend money at least once a year, you have no legitimate reason not to be doing this. At the 1 minute mark of this video, a link to a different video is going to pop up right here. It's going to be 5 reasons why you should be doing it. Watch that video when this one is over. It's at the 1 minute mark. Really easy to remember. 1 minute. And figure out why you should be doing it. In fact, here it is. Boom! Right there. 5 reasons why you should be selling cash secured put options. When you know the reasons why, learning the how-tos so much easier. Right? So for free, you got these downloads. Use those in conjunction with a playlist. And if you want to go the next step, read about this and see if you want some one-on-one consulting with it. Today, we had this guy, Jerome Powell, get in front of people and flap his lips, and it moved the market. Moved the market to make it look like this. Heat map, you see almost everything red, almost everything down. Advancing versus declining, you see almost everything was in decline. And just sharply, I think a sharp increase from the last time we saw a big down days. And we have about almost 70% versus a little less than 31% being high versus low. Below the 50-day moving average, almost 60%, and below the 200-day moving average, a little over 52%. And Powell pressed on banking, climate, and crypto. Yeah, Powell pressed on climate, because the Federal Reserve, now they're also the weathermen. Let's take a look at the overall, what's going on in the futures market. You know what's great about selling cash secured put options on stocks you don't mind owning? You don't really have to worry about any of this type of stuff. Any of this type of stuff, as far as you don't really have to pay attention to the futures. There's a whole lot of stuff you won't have to pay attention to. Futures VIX is, for me, I'm not really concerned with what it's doing on this little what's happening in the short term, little move. For me, maybe there's some trading strategies that happens, but unless it really starts moving up, breaking over 24, gets up around here at 23 and just coming down, and I am under a suspicion that with all the 0 days to expiration option trading going on, that the VIX is not as reliable of a gauge as it was in the past, specifically for when the VIX is high, you buy, when the VIX is low, you go. I don't know if that relationship exists to the same degree that it did in the past. I think there's a new relationship with the VIX and the overall equities market. I'm just not 100% sure how this new relationship is. Things in the markets change, and something did change. There was this significant amount of volume in the 0 days to expiration options. So all across the board on our 4 indices in the futures, we got our newest candle opening right at the bottom of that, the most recent bear candle. So I don't know about you, but when I say we, I mean I, and we going to be watching what's going on for the rest of the 7th going into the 8th of what's happening with these candles right there. Bitcoin fell below this $23,000 floor. Now it seems like it's catching support at 22,000. And if you live in a state that gives you the ability to, gives you enough freedom. I know supposedly we live in the United States. Well, I live in the United States. And at one time, it was alleged to be the land of the free, but People's Republic of Hawaii does not give me enough freedom to trade Bitcoin, and I find that very, very comical. So I just can kind of sit here and watch and drool and wish that I could get into this price action legally. Silver really, look at that, took a dive. Gold took a dive. Natural gas still kind of just going flat across the board. Crude oil also took a dive. I was up here around 80. I was hoping to open up a little naked call. I was trying to get some premium. I need to go up a little more, but pulled back. That's okay. 10-year treasury yield is still, it dropped down. We're moving still in the under the halfway mark of this bear candle right here, but up on the month. Now let's look at the actual markets, excluding these three right here. We already looked at those. The dollar, boom! Look at this, right? Not a shocker to me, but look at that, dollar shot up, because it really does. It really is good to understand when you're buying, let's say, like an asset, like what would be an asset? I don't know, whatever asset you want to say, SPX, right? Paper asset. When the currency you are buying the asset in, which in my case would be US dollars. Everything in here is prices in US dollars. When the value of that currency goes up, it takes less US dollars to buy an asset. So there's a relationship between the asset that you're purchasing, the currency that you're purchasing an asset in, and the actual purchase price of the asset. It's good to understand this distinction, because your asset can go up and down on more than one variable. But one variable is the price of the one variable is the value of the asset you're purchasing. I just said it again. The value of the currency you're purchasing the asset in. So why would that be good to understand? Well, one reason is that, let's say if SPX was a company, and let's say that they are really, really profitable, and they don't have any debt, and they've got like brand recognition, and everything is just great, and the stock price is tanking. So some people might think, wow, what's going on with this company? What's wrong with this company? The share price is going down. Well, if you look at the underlying fundamentals of the company, the underlying fundamentals are great. Then it would be good to know what's going on with the currency you're transacting that asset in. And it would be wonderful. Wouldn't it be great if this is what happened with your groceries? Wouldn't it be great if this currency that you transact in kept gaining in value? So it was less expensive to buy a house. It was less expensive to buy a car. How about it was less expensive to buy your food? How about that? How about less expensive to take your kids out to the movies? That would be nice, huh? Nonetheless, we do live in the United States, and even though the value of the US dollar is going up, if you take a look at the value of the US dollar since, let's say, 1913, 1971, you're going to see that has just been tanking. And, people like this guy, Jerome Powell, they say that it's their job to make sure the value that you transact in goes down at minimum 2% a year. So in 2 years it went down 4%. In 6 years it went down 2.46, right? In 3 years it went down 6%. We're probably getting too deep in the weeds with that one, but I think it's worthwhile understanding that relationship. When you understand this relationship, it gets harder to have the wool pulled over your eyes. And if you don't think that every day there's a lot of people on TV, on the radio, on the internet, and dealing with money that are trying to pull wool over your eyes, then enjoy the next FTX ride. All the three indices we see tanked, with Russell doing it 2 days in a row. Not too much of a shocker though, right? With yesterday's candle, VIX popping up just a little bit. U.S. TLT indicating U.S. Treasuries kind of moving down over the month. 12 sectors of the stock market, some major, some minor. Here's three big ones that are crucial to SPY. Down. In this broke out of this trading range right here, but failed. Financials now is in this downward trading range, which is a little different. We'll see if technology is going to do that. Industrial is basically kind of looking sideways. Basic materials been pretty volatile, was going up, but now we're got a nice down day. Communications down, retail down, real estate down, utilities down. Probably gonna see if it drops back down here. It's not 48 cents away from this. Might catch some support right in there. Down for the staples. What is this? Consumer discretionary overall up and down, and then kind of up again here, but now heading down. And energy over the month, and look at that, sideways, up, down, to back up to being sideways. This is it's a very choppy market, and everything that I'm seeing, like basically at least every week, but sometimes it's daily. I'm seeing more and more that just is looking sideways to me. We're going to look at the top 10 stocks per the major indices. Go through these relatively quickly. We're looking at the S&P 500 top 10 stock holdings. Apple. Not a surprise. We see this long candle up here to the top. We see gets around 155, and I think in yesterday's video I talked about, we saw it again. It won't drop down. We saw that same candle there as we saw yesterday, and gave us that decline. So we'll see how far that is going to go down. Microsoft. What's Microsoft look like today? It's down, and we'll see what's going to happen around this 200-day moving average. Amazon is a bit of a doji right there. So maybe it'll catch a little support. We'll see. Everything else is kind of going down. Meta, aka Facebook, gapped up, dropped down, had a slowish pivot right through here, and hitting back up here around this 190, where it seemed to have hidden resistance before, and down yesterday, opened up around that 190, down today. So maybe it's going to keep bumping its head against there. And for some glorious reason, they like to have Google twice. And looking pretty much the same. Overall, in this downward trend, you can see went up here, had this breakout failure on the 200-day moving average. And over here with Berkshire Hathaway is it's really topping out. You want to call this a higher low? Did I say higher low? I mean lower high. I really get that mixed up quite a bit, don't I? So it seems to be kind of going sideways. And Tesla, how you wanna should you say Tesla or should you say Tesla? What should you say? What would be the best hipster trendy way to fit in with the rest of society to say that? Because what's more important than making money is fitting in with people. Nah, just kidding. You do you. If making money is more important to you than fitting in with others, then make money. If fitting in with others is more important, if you want to do both, do both. I don't really care. Do whatever you want. It's seems to be a little bit of a double top here, and it's a little bit lower on this side, and it seems a little lower here. So in this kind of short-term trend, we seem to be going down. In a 6-month trend, we overall down. Medium-term trend, we're kind of up. So sideways at the moment. Maybe we're going to be in this range. And Nvidia kind of moving sideways, right? Right in through here. Gapped up from way down here, gapped all the way up here, and seems to be going sideways. So there's some bullishness. JP Morgan Chase. We'll see what happens. This is putting the uptrend before this. When we take this candle off, the uptrend was, if you get rid of this, uptrend was looking a little bit sweeter, right? It was kind of like sort of like an uptrend, kind of like this. It was sort of looking like this, and pullbacks. I'll see what happens here. Kind of right in there. We'll see what happens right through that area. If it kind of going sideways through there, we'll see how all that stuff, how that's going to shake out on JP Morgan Chase. Get down there. Oh man, it just wants to. All right, the next one we're going to look at is the Qs representing what the heck does that represent again? The Nasdaq. Is that it? Let's see. Yeah, this is the one. Adobe. This is what I was missing. We were missing something like that. Adobe and PayPal are the only of 10 stocks. There's only 2 of them that aren't overlapping in the top 10 in the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. Nasdaq's even down to copying 2. Have to double up on Google. Just got to do that for some reason. Oh boy. So almost sideways, almost. But yeah, it's not. This might seem pretty. In the last couple days, seems bullish. Seems look, it's topping out right in there. It's right in this area. I think we're gonna end up going a bit sideways with that. PayPal is not looking anything spectacular to the upside. It's probably going to continue going down. And now we will look at the Dow Jones top 10, which we do have a little bit of overlap, but not nearly as much as the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. And nice big sell-off today. This stock looks like a great stock to trade. Definitely a little bit on the pricier side, but seems like it's very, very volatile. Has a good volume trading, and I'll have to look into that a little more at some time. Goldman Sachs had this big run up, sold off, tried to get back up there, fell down to this area, which not surprising, right? Not surprising. You look to the left and see, boom, had a pivot here before. This old pivot seemed to become support here. Back up into this area where also look, it gapped up right here. And then it kind of became something in that area. Sold off into here, up hitting this a little bit higher in that with this range from, it's like $10 range from 370 to 380. And just kind of selling, sold off today, pivoting right here a little bit below the 360. So I think a lot of things looking more sideways. Nice sell off in Home Depot today. It's really in that range, which we're going to the left. Oh yeah, we see it right in there. Maybe it's going to be kind of range bound for a moment. Microsoft, we already looked at that one. Salesforce, we didn't look at that yet. It gapped up on earnings, but it's just been kind of floating back down. But it's still up. That's a huge gap up. That would have been a wonderful, if you would have had a straddle that. Been wonderful to straddle that, huh? McDonald sold off, but still in the sideways trend. Honeywell just looks to be going down. Visa, look at that. You know, I see some sideways action from about here to here, and it's kind of going up volatilely sideways. Amgen, woo dog is just falling down. Probably going to get back into this area. Wouldn't be surprised if we start getting down here lower. What's this average true range? Is like $4. Yeah, you could definitely, if things keep going down tomorrow, it could definitely hit the 225. And Boeing. Okay, Boeing still could. It doesn't look like the greatest uptrend. It's not as strong as right through here in this area for sure, or this one. But is this? It's got like a sideways trend right through here. I'll see what happens. If it starts going back up, if it's going to keep coming down, we're definitely sideways. Like at the moment, I guess it's got some work to do to get out of this sideways trend. Last thing we will look at is the Russell 2000. Where's IWM? This one we don't have any overlap in. We got some exciting stocks over here. Starting with some of the meme favorites. AMC. AMC just kind of looking sideways to me. It does not look up. It doesn't look super down. We're right in this area where we've been before. Hit a high of 10, a low of 3, and that's kind of in the middle-ish, right between 10 and 3, sort of in there. Shockwave. Shockwave down and just sort of sideways now, trying to make this run back up to the top, but looking sideways. Got some work to do to get over this $200 area. Biohaven. And Biohaven is misbehaving. It's been going down in the shorter term, kind of losing. Yeah, it's like, but if it starts breaking through here, which it is already, starts hitting down here in this $13 area, starting breaking that 13. Looks like a lot of stuff in the market is just weak and potentially falling apart. Look at that. Tried to get back up here and just sold off to the bottom of this candle today with your good buddy Intelia. Crocs, maybe that's still an upward trend, but like a lot of things, it's kind of been moving sideways. Upward trend could possibly continue, but it's having trouble. It's not, definitely seems to be feeling this 130 is as resistance. Seems like sellers really stepping up around that when it gets over or to that 130. Chart Industries trying to make a run back up after this big drop right here. But as far as like, let's go back 1 year. Okay, 1 year sideways, started running up, dropped down, and probably going to have some tough resistance around this 150 area here. But as far as if you look at this movement down, it's been taking a long time to try to get back up to 150 or even halfway through where it dropped, which is maybe around the 165, 170, something like that. So all these days it's been taking, to get back up shows us that there's a lot of weakness in there. Karuna, sideways, And it seems like after it goes sideways for a while, boom, drops down. Now maybe this 200-day moving average will give us some support. It seems like it's been having some support. So between supply and demand, sellers and buyers, we'll see what it's going to do. Is it at an even ground, or is one going to take over? There's something looking a little more bullish. Even though we've had kind of a pullback, at least regaining some of that, right? We had this run up here. Took 3 days to get back down to here. But that was kind of, okay, still up in this area. And then 3 days to get back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trading days. And we're almost to the top of that. So, it's, I don't know if people are coming up with some big bull cases. I'm not seeing it myself. I'm not seeing it. Doesn't mean I don't think it could happen. But we seem to be topping out right in this area on Apelios. But what I am getting at is that things seem pretty weak. I don't see some super strength. I see things kind of falling apart. So where does that put us? Right, where again, we're closing under the 400. Although it's not as far down, I guess, but it's still down. The longer it takes us to get back up to this 420, it's telling us something. Like we're in a weak market. This is definitely not a strong bull market at the moment. If they start doing some sort of program, no matter what name they call it, if they start doing something, and you hear people saying it's not quantitative easing, then things are going up. If they say it's quantitative easing, or if they say it's not quantitative easing, it kind of doesn't matter, right? If you give someone an uppercut to the chin, or you give someone a jab to the chin, you're still damaging this person in the chin. Regardless of what technical name the punch is, you're still punching somebody in the chin. And if you knock them out from a jab, or you knock them out from a uppercut, the result end up being the same, even though the technical name, jab or uppercut, is different. So if the Fed people and the media people and all the bandwagon people start saying it's not QE, it's different than QE, but you're getting the same result. Like for me personally, I'm not trying to win debates with non-action taking talking people. I'm trying to make money. So I really don't care what name they called this and what name they called this. And I really don't care what name they called this one and what name they called this one and what name they called this one. I don't care. I just want to trade properly and know if they do some finagling, what might happen. So that's it, my friends. I think we're sideways. You see sideways right in there? I'm seeing some sideways. I'm seeing a lot of sideways stuff. So how can you trade sideways? Well, one of the easiest ways to trade sideways, right here. You know why this is so wonderful? Thank you for asking. I'll show you why it's so wonderful. Because this is your financial statement. This is your income column. This is your expense column. This is your liability column. This is your asset column. When you work at a job, money comes in here. When you pay a bill, your money flows over here into the expense, out into somebody else's financial statement. Assets are going to be defined. We're going to use the Rich Dad definition. Things that put money in your pocket. Things that bring money into your income column. Liabilities, things that take money out. And they do it just like that. The liability is here. The money flows to the expense column and out into somebody else's income column. All right, so we got our basic understanding of a financial statement. Right. Income, expenses, assets, liabilities. When you open an option position, because an option is a contract, it has an expiration date. So most option trades, well, all option trades have an expiration. And the majority of them, the outcome is basically binary. One outcome is that you lose money. Another outcome is that you make money. Now, breaking even, we're going to put breaking even over here. Even though technically with breaking even you're not making money, you'd probably rather break even than lose money. So really breaking even is a win. When you compare breaking even to losing money, breaking even is a win. So we're going to put it over here. Two outcomes. Make money, lose money. When you sell cash secured put options on a stock that you wouldn't mind owning, your two outcomes. So let me back up a little bit. Now, looking at what we learned about the financial statement, your income column, your expense column. When you lose money through an options trade, money flows out of your expense column. You're losing that money. Now, what's so wonderful about this is that when you sell a cash secured put option on a stock you don't mind owning, you take in money through premium received, and let's say it expires worthless. That money flows into your income column. You made money. Now, let's say it does not expire worthless, and you need to fulfill the agreement that you sold that contract for, which was basically a put option. Selling put option gives you the legal, it's a legal binding contract that says you're going to buy at least 100 shares of an asset, usually a stock for what we're talking about. So if it expires worthless, you make money, money flows into your income column. Now let's say it doesn't expire worthless. Well, with this, you still take this money and that goes into your income column. Now what's really great is this 100 shares of an asset move into your asset column. Now you have at least 100 shares of stock. And if you pick good stocks, they're probably going to pay you a dividend. So probably every 3 months, you got more money flowing into your income column. And you'd be able to write covered calls against these. So you've got even more money flowing into your income column. And you can still sell more put options. So you got more money flowing into your income column. It sounds too good to be true. Well, it's not too good to be true. But there is a catch. Or a downside. It's not really a catch, but it is a downside. And the downside, or the catch, is that you know this story? Tortoise and the hare. this strategy is this one. 100%. You're going to be the tortoise. This is a slow and steady thing. All that stuff where I showed you how it's like, wow, you make money, you make money, you make money. Yeah, but you're doing that in a way. You're doing that giving up on some get rich quick. Now, if you say, well, there's no such thing as get rich quick. Well, how about high ROI? How about making more money faster? You know, it doesn't have to be get rich quick, but you know, instead of making, let's say on a $10,000 account, you know, maybe you're making anywhere, make 2 to 5% a month versus like maybe 10% a month or something. I don't know exactly, but you know, just to kind of guesstimate it in there, right? There's times where I'm selling cash secured put options on a stock, and there's times when I made where I got paid around $50 for one contract, and there's other times when I got paid $10 for one contract, and that ties up capital, right? So another question would, on that, a follow-up question would be, well, what was the one that you got paid $50 for, and the one that you got paid $10 for? What was the price of the stock, and what was your strike price in relationship to that price? So there is definitely more to it. Those are questions that you can start figuring out as you go through this stuff. But that's the downside. The downside is that you're the tortoise, but the upside is that you will finish the race. You guys have a fantastic day. Aloha.